Office here at UW La Crosse with Kasey Crawford, head gymnastics coach, as we preview the 2017 WIAC championships, which are scheduled for Friday night over at Winona State University. March-in is at 5:30. This is the 44th edition of the conference championship, and the conference meet also serves as the West Region qualifier for the NCGA championships. Those are scheduled for Friday and Saturday, March 31st and April 1st at UW Stout. The top three teams from the WIAC championships, along with the individual gymnasts, will advance to the NCGA meet. Coach, let's first talk about just the overall of the season, how you thought you've done. You coming off a win last week in your last regular season duel. Just talk about how the season has gone.
Absolutely. I think it's been a really great season. We've just been steady. I would say that's a word for us. Other years we're really trying to just get people to stay on the event and not have a lot of falls. And we're a team that we can stay on, and we focus on that every single week in practice. But it's really about the detail for this team. It's like getting those extra little tenths and focusing in those details. And that's what's really awesome about this year, because we're finally to that point where we've really got some great experience, some awesome leadership, and they're just getting after the detail and those little things they got to get to be great.
And let's just talk about your first year head coach, taking over Barb Gibson. Of course, you were an assistant for 8 years with the UWL and former All-American here. But just talk about how you've thought, what's been the biggest keys for you in terms of the season and in terms of individual events?
Absolutely. In general, we're just, let me rephrase the question. Is it about the transition or about each event?
Kind of both. Let's do the transition first with taking over for Coach Gibson.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's what's special about this team is from, August 1, September 1, whatever you want to say, they've just bought in. They have been committed. They have been trusting in the transition. I think that's what makes this team so special. They're really just after it, and they love the philosophy of our program, and that has just been such an asset to our program this year. They're just really taken off with that.
And then just in terms of, let's just do every individual event, where have you seen the progress from the vault all the way to the floor?
Yep, absolutely. Our first meet of the year, vault had kind of a struggling meet, and we kind of hit, I think, 3 out of 6 vaults, and it was kind of a turnaround for that event. It was like, what do we got to do, and how do we need to step up our game? And our vault has just really taken off. We've got some of the most difficult vaults we've had ever in program history, so we've got the start value, so that's awesome. Bars is just stellar. They're just clean, they are rock steady, and they just kind of own it up there, and so Bars is really a great event for us. Beam has been steady all along. We're just really focused, getting after the detail. Beam has just kind of been steady there, and floor has been one of our greatest strengths. We have fun. We've got some great floor music and choreography, and we just have fun out there, and it's just been an awesome event for us.
UWL won the conference championship last year. What are the keys for you to win this year's championship?
It's to be ourselves. It's, to beat La Crosse. That's what we kind of say. We got a target on our own back, and we're here to be our best self on Friday and bring that to the meet.
And you've had a good mix this year of returners and newcomers. You have 3 returning champions from last year from the conference championship. Just talk about what the higher, I guess, the letter winners have done for you, but also the freshmen have into the lineup.
Yeah, it's really been a mixture. Our returnees have been fabulous. Again, just steady. They bring their best self to practice every day. They're bringing it to the meet. Of course, the Sam Weekamp and Amy Enright and Danny Barmore and Leah Spankowski, all those returners have just been doing what they do. They bring their very best self to the gym every day, and they bring it to the meets. But we've also had some other returnees that have stepped in. Monique Mildollar and Abby Ostrovsky, and some people that didn't have as much of an impact last year have really stepped up their game. And then we've got some freshman contributors with Jess Arnson, Savannah Farrell, and just, again, it's a whole team coming together, and they're all bringing their best self to make it the best team.
And the rotation of the events came out for Friday night, and you got vault first, which you usually do in a home duel anyway. So vault, bars, beam, and floor. How, let's say, does that make your team more comfortable going into the meet?
I think we take whatever we get and we roll with it. It's one of those things, you get your rotation and you embrace whatever you get. And this is, of course, nice, as half of our meets have had this rotation, so you are used to it, but we're continuing to practice it in the gym, having a national anthem and going to the first event vault and getting prepared. So we're still going into that same mindset of being prepared for that rotation.
And one of the interesting things about the WIAC this year, there's 31 different states and 4 countries represented on the WIAC teams this year. Just talk about what the recruiting has done. I mean,
Yeah.
UWL roster is a
Yep.
fine example. You've got
Yep.
kids from all over the country. Just
Yep.
talk about what the recruiting has been like.
You know, our conference has just never been stronger. I mean, everyone is hitting the recruiting trail like crazy. I mean, there's not a day that I'm not recruiting, and I'm going after the whole country. I mean, you're just trying to get the best athletes, and you see it in our conference. All 8 teams have elevated their game. We're all scoring higher than we ever have, and it's just brought a great competitive environment to our conference.
Again, the WIAC championships are this Friday over at Winona State. It's also the NCGA qualifying meet. There's live video available. If you go to uwlathletics.com, you can follow along on Twitter and Facebook as well all weekend long. Thanks, everybody.